Hello, this is Mike Lively, and we're going to start you off with lively3d, LV3D. And in this tutorial, we're going to start from scratch. We're going to show you how basically to port a 3D engine so you can start building your own 3D engines and what's all involved. Now, I want to make a very radical statement before I start talking about doing this port. And that radical statement is it does not matter what you start off with to port with. So you're going to need an engine. You're going to bring it into 3D, and there's been two good ones out there. One is PaperVision 3D, and one is Away 3D. And you basically, what we're going to do is we're going to build our own 3D engine, but we're going to start with something. We're just not going to start from scratch. Now, and here's the radical statement: it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you start with Away 3D. It doesn't matter if you start with PV3D, because in the end, your product's going to look very much the same. Because a lot of your development will be driven by that internal Flash engine that now has all these methods internalized, like a Matrix 3D. It now has a new Vertex 3D. And all those math methods that used to take thousands of lines of code are now internalized to the Flash player. So what I'm saying is, because of that, it's going to force you into pretty much a limited number of development activities to get those methods to work. They're all going to look the same at the end anyway. And those people who have done a super job at the port already is Away 3D. So let's start with that engine. So I mean, hats off, a round of applause. Away 3D has really gone for it. I've actually been watching their development over the last year or so, and they've actually come to a pretty nice engine. It's called Away 3D Lite. So what I have a little statement here says, if it's not light, don't bite. So what we want to do is grab that Away 3D engine, go ahead and put it into a reverse syntax domain folder structure, and start essentially adding classes to specifically tailor it for Flash Builder. So the big question is, what is lively3d? And so let me go ahead and go through that. It is a data-driven 3D engine featuring autocode generation designed specifically for Flash Builder and the new Spark architecture. And so what's in it? Well, this is an augmented work. Let me go ahead and say that once again. I'm not claiming anyone else's work as my own, but I will be using their work as a base. You're going to see a lot of PV3D-like stuff in here. You're going to see Away 3D, that's the original port, Pixel Bender, C++, Cairngorm, Tweenlight, Pixel Bender, Alchemy, Jiglib, Flart, Flint, and Flash Catalyst snippets. So, but in addition, this is specifically going to be designed for web, for media, to be data-driven, and that's why Flash Builder is so important, because it has so many cool data-driven features. So we really want to build an engine that has it in there, that has those audio and video and data components, and with auto code generation, so you don't have to spend your entire life coding things that you have to do over and over again. If it's the same, why not auto-generate it and treat things in terms of code stubs? Let me show you some of these websites that you need to go to and get some of this stuff at. Of course, Away 3D download, you can just go right to their site. Let me show that to you real quick. So here's the Away 3D. Please do contribute to these guys. They've done, like I said, a super job. You can come along here and just download Flash 10 if you want, or you can actually go to their Google code and use Tortoise, for example, and if you're on Windows, and download Away 3D source. It doesn't matter. I actually just went right to their website, and I downloaded it right from their website, and I unzipped it, and I began working with it and converting it into the reverse syntax domain notation. Folder structure. Next thing you want to do, you can get Tortoise if you want, if you're on Windows. A wonderful SVN engine, that what you want to use actually. They do have a Google code site, as I just mentioned and showed you. Then you want to make sure you have Flash Builder. Now, Flash Builder at this present tutorial is in beta 2, and so let me show you that site real quick. There's Flash Builder, and you can just basically go to that Adobe Labs site right here, listed in the handout there, and scroll down here and click on Get Flash Builder 2, and you'll be good to go for this tutorial session. Also, if you don't know how to use Flash Builder, I am putting up a series on YouTube. That's my YouTube, www.youtube.com/MikeNKU, or lynda.com is great. They have a nice tutorial on Flash Builder. Just sign up for the service. It's only $25 a month, and it's well worth it. Of course, all the code that I create will be put on Google Code so you can download, and it's actually up there now for these two sessions I'll be doing today. And you can go right to that at code.google.com/p/lively3d downloads list. And let me show you that real quick. There you go, there's LV3D, and there's the two downloads for today. Basically the Away 3D port, and how to bring lively3d, the new port, into MXML. Now, I've already done quite a bit of work on this and actually done a lot of changes to it. And what I'm going to say is a lot of that I do for lively3d, for the first month or so, we'll basically go right into Away 3D. But after that point, we're going to be deviating very rapidly because it's going to be an engine for Flash Builder specifically. So what I'm saying is don't start from scratch, and let's show you how to port.